Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you another video. All right, so the score was 131 to 127, and the Lakers get the victory as a 3-0 start. I don't know how long it's been since we had a 3-0 start. It had to be over 20 years, something like that. The Lakers beat the Kings tonight in a game that was not easy at all, but it just shows the resiliency of this basketball club and how real we are right now. We are a real team. Uh, the stats, when it comes to stats, our team was definitely all over the place. Everybody filled up the box score in the starting lineup, just about everybody. Rui had about 18 points, 9 rebounds. Austin had like 15.6 assists, 7 rebounds. Braun had like 14 rebounds, 10 assists, 32 points. AD had like 31 points, 2 blocks, 3 steals, or 3 steals and 2 blocks. I don't remember. 9 rebounds. It was a lot of statistics put up. So many numbers. So many numbers. Got to give credit to the Kings, of course. They had huge games in that same fashion. Sabonis had like a triple-double tonight. De'Aaron Fox had 28 points and a bunch of assists. It was a big stat night. DeMar DeRozan barely missed. I think he was like 9 or 12 from the field. It was just so many numbers. So many numbers, man. As you can clearly see, this team put up 132 points to get this victory. 44 points in the fourth quarter. Man, I'm telling you, that was hard fought right there. And I just continue to be impressed with the basketball team. Teams are throwing their best shot at this. I thought Mike Brown did a good job coaching his team. I thought his team had like 2 and 3 players they couldn't miss. He had guys putting up physical defensive efforts against us. Stealing the ball. The Lakers had like 19 turnovers off of like 11 steals or something like that from the Kings. We took another team's best shot on a back-to-back and still found a way to win. This is not minor. Ring the alarm. This is a good team. This is a good team. The Lakers are a good team this season. It's not a fluke. I've seen enough to know this is not a fluke. Now, we can very easily be a bad team with the wrong injuries, but at full health, under JJ Redick, this team is a contender. That's what I've learned through 3 games. You're going to have to deal with us. We're resilient, we play hard, and we take hard punches. We got a strong jaw. That's what this team is. It's a team with a very strong jaw. When you talk about how we just won these last 2 games in a matter of 24 hours, taking team's best punch. I mean, I haven't seen Sacramento play better defense than that in years. Honestly, I thought that was the best defense they played in years. And we finally got over the hump against them. I don't know how many games we lost in a row to this team up until this point, probably like 9. We finally got over the hump. AD finally got a win against Sabonis. Finally. It took a lot, though. Those 19 turnovers were a bit tough. I think Braun had 5 of them. Austin had like 6 of them. It was not minor tonight. They were really forcing the issue, crowding our guys out, playing physical, getting to the line. Both teams got to the line fairly even. I think we both shot like 25 free throws or something like that. The Lakers only missed 3. AD missed all 3 of them, believe it or not. About 60 points in the paint. We shot about 41% from the 3 and 52% from the field or something like that. So that's really good shooting. Definitely like that. I don't remember exactly how many threes we shot. I think it was under 32 or something like 33, somewhere around that range maybe. I don't remember, something like that. But it was solid volume. They attempted more threes than us, but we still were able to overcome them by just continuing to push the issue, being very efficient. And LeBron James was incredible tonight, man. Even though the turnovers were in place, he was rebounding the ball like a madman. 14 boards on the night. Triple-double showed up. Big 3-point shooting night for LeBron. I don't remember exactly how many he hit, maybe about 4 or 5 of them or something like that. It was a very, very nice night for the King, and he definitely gets the game ball from me tonight. we definitely don't win it without him going crazy, especially in the fourth quarter, where he started the quarter with like 16 straight points or something crazy like that by himself. He just really took over in that fourth quarter. But even then, Sacramento managed to cut the game to like one. I mean, they played a good game. Sacramento should not hang their head down tonight, because they came into this building and fought hard, and they're going to get their win eventually. You know what I mean? They've been losing, but the way they played Minnesota and the way they played the Lakers, they're not minor. And the thing that I learned about the Kings, or was reminded rather, is that they have two fourth quarter madmen in DeMar DeRozan and De'Aaron Fox, two of the best fourth quarter players in basketball. So I don't think this is a fluke, in the sense that they were down by like 12 points or 15 points at the beginning of the fourth quarter, took an onslaught, and then still found a way to make it a close game. That's not a fluke. People are going to have to deal with Sacramento. I'm telling you right now. You're going to have to deal with them. But tonight we dealt with them. And look, it speaks to how good I think our team is ultimately displaying ourselves right now. I don't think too many teams would have beat Sacramento tonight the way they were playing defensively, hounding us. It seemed like the game plan was strong against us. You know, they were getting, active hands, physical basketball, forcing turnovers, hitting shots. You got star players on fire. Like, to me, this is like the type of thing where you say, man, if we can just stay healthy and continue doing what we're doing right now, it's going to be very difficult to beat us, man. Very difficult. Because teams are throwing their best shot. They're throwing haymakers, and we just taking them on the chin. And then hitting back harder. And it's like, whatever you're doing. We lost two 15-point leads in this game. And in most situations, you say we blew two 15-point leads. No, we withstood a rage from a team that was playing well on the road, as they were doing the things necessary to earn their way back into the basketball game, and we were fending them off. Like, that's a better way to describe it. They were taking this game from us, and we would not let them seal it. I mean, it's a different type of spirit, man. Of this particular unit, it's a different type of spirit. I'm telling you. I don't know what JJ Redick got going on as it pertains to what type of buttons he's pressing and the type of plays he's running, and how he's managing these basketball games. But this is basically the same unit that that Darvin Ham had last year. Add Dalton Knecht, maybe remove Dinwiddie and Torian, but it's the same unit. And they are playing with a certain resilience and tenacity and just overall activity that I've never seen them play with. And I think some of that has to do with the team being together now for a little while. There's no newness, so you're seeing the continuity there. Bron Nate even playing on the same team for 6 years now, so it's a certain second nature that most of these guys have with one another. And maybe that, there's something to be said for continuity. People were mad we were bringing back the same team, but what you end up having is less to learn about one another. And then you consider we giving the reins over to somebody who can run plays that are better, and that synergy that's already in place, having run stuff that made you work harder, is easier to flow into when the plays that you're running with these same people is more intricate and better put together. So it's like we've been playing on difficulty modes that's like 3 and 4 times higher as it pertains to what we were trying to do to accomplish what we had to learn. It's like giving a controller to a better video game player. Now it's like, okay, now you get to see what this team is really meant for, and it's not as hard to get certain things done. And we're used to working harder to get things done, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So we're controlling the glass like crazy. I think we were plus 13 or something like that on the boards. Probably about 13 or 14 offensive rebounds as well. You got to credit Rui Hachimura for his increased rebounding. I think he had 9 boards on the night, 4 offensive rebounds. AD, of course, killing it on the glass as usual. Bron crashing glass, as already mentioned. Austin had his handful of rebounds tonight on the offensive and defensive end. D'Angelo Russell as well. He did a pretty good job tonight all the way around. This was a good D-Lo game. You know, we got to give him credit, man. Made some good passes as he had been doing, but some shots finally fell. 3-point shots were really ringing off tonight, and I don't know that we win the game without him hitting the shots that he hit. So definitely kudos to D'Lo for doing well. Jackson Hayes was the best plus minus on the floor with a plus 24. Got to give credit there. Surprisingly enough, AD and Austin, even though they were so very important in regards to the stats, you look at the stats and they filled up the box score, they both had bad plus minuses. Believe it or not, AD had a bad plus minus. But, you know, we were able to steal this game, and, you know, I continue to be impressed and encouraged by what we're seeing here, and we're winning the games I wanted to win. You know, I wanted the Sacramento game bad. I circled this one because we keep losing to this team's, you know, the AD streak against Sabonis and all that. We broke all of that by winning this game on a back-to-back. And granted, all 3 of these games we've won have been at home, so we still have to be tested on the road. There are teams that win all their games at home and lose all their games on the road. So we got to figure out who we are on the road, too. Hopefully our game travels, but I'm kind of like flabbergasted at just exactly how good we are through 3 basketball games. We're not just winning these games. We're winning games that teams are playing pretty well in. That's what this is telling me. You're not just winning games. You're beating teams that are throwing their best punch at you. Good teams, playoff teams, teams that in the play-in tournament last year, Sacramento, they're throwing their best shot at you. You know, Sabonis had a triple-double. De'Aaron Fox hit all types of shots. You know, DeMar DeRozan barely missed it all. Fourth quarter players doing fourth quarter things. You win. They stealing the ball, they're playing D, they're rebounding, the whistle's going their way, you still win. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. It feels special around here. It feels special around here. I know a good team when I see one. Teams that have winning qualities, teams that have resilient qualities. Teams where you can throw your best shot at them and they absorb them and still win. You don't see that too often. But when you do, it's usually in teams that are there in the end. So I look at Rob Pelinka and I say, please improve our bench. You don't want to mess with chemistry. I respect that. You can remove the wrong piece and suddenly the thing goes spiral. And I don't doubt that chemistry is something that if it's not broken, don't fix it. But the fact that we are so reliant upon AD staying healthy in order to be a full basketball team and look this good when he's out there, I would love a little more cushion for him to be able to miss a game or miss a week without us falling off a cliff. I just think that's what can get us over the hump, is just being a bit more, less reliant on our starters staying healthy. And that's what I see there. But as far as like the role players and stuff like that, Rui Hachimura starting the season fantastic. Austin Reeves playing hard. I thought the turnovers were a little rough tonight, but he made some fantastic passes, was cutting at the rim, hit some threes tonight. Austin was really good for the most part. You just got to, withstand the pressure, the on-ball pressure and the active hands that Sacramento pretty much has up and down the damn roster. LeBron James, I mean, what can you say about LeBron James? He's year 22, and this dude is still taking over basketball games. It was one of those situations where at the end of the third quarter, I thought our shot selection was a bit poor as a team. Bron had something to do with that. I think D'Lo had a shot that I wasn't in love with. I think Dalton maybe have taken a shot I wasn't in love with, something like that. And we ended up allowing Sacramento to go up by 6. We came out in that fourth quarter after that mistake, and LeBron James completely took over. He was just going crazy, hitting threes, mid-range shots. The mid-range shot was really falling tonight. I can't tell you how many times in the past where I'd look at Bron and say, why can't you take a mid-range here? Why they're leaving you open in this? He's taking those shots that I wanted him to take about 3 years ago that I wasn't seeing mid-range wise. He's upped his game in that area, and it shows. He's been working on it, and it shows. And I couldn't have been more pleased with LeBron James overall. I mean, the way he crashed the glass in the first half, I think he had like 9 rebounds in the first half. Making plays for other people, of course, to get 10 assists. I thought the King was fantastic. and I do not doubt that he put this team on his back tonight, and put AD on his back in a way to say we're not losing this game, man. You got to give AD credit as well. The big three down the stretch, in Sabonis's face, that was fantastic. Rebounding the ball as usual, taking a lot of punishment, falling on the ground a lot tonight. Withstanding frustration of the whistle not going our way. We definitely dealt with a lot of that tonight, as we talked about the halftime video. But we withstood it all. We shot well for the most part, I think, and just got to the line, took care of business. And that's fantastic, man. Only missing 3 free throws as a team, having shot like 29 of them or 28 of them. That's how you do it, man. That's how you withstand a team that's doing the same thing. They pretty much had a similar free throw statistic tonight, but killing them on the glass was really key, man. Double-digit offensive rebounds, giving ourselves second chance points. It really helps when if you turn the ball over as much as we are, you want to dominate the glass as much as we did. And these are the type of things that's making it so that we're able to defeat teams despite them throwing their best punch at us. We counter well. You know, when Phoenix was hitting every damn shot, we were taking care of the ball and not turning it over and controlling the glass and getting in the paint. Like, for every great thing that another team does, it seems like we know just how to attack them to counter that. And that's something that I think that you just did not see with Darvin Ham or Luke Walton or none of them. They didn't have that trait that JJ tends to just naturally be able to work into the equation. I thought we attacked the zone extremely well tonight. They ran a little zone. We did a little bounce pass, got a dunk in the paint. It's like, yo, we were so lost last year when teams would zone us up. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. It seems like JJ has plays for these type of zones. It's just, I really want to give him the credit for a lot of what we're seeing here. The players are executing, but his imprint on this basketball team makes us different. We were a solid team under Darvin Ham. Could have been better if we didn't have Darvin stepping in the way, doing stuff we had no business doing. You gave the reins to somebody who knows exactly what to do, and now you can really see exactly what type of talent this team has on it. You can see what Rui's able to do. You can see Austin look better. You can see all of it. The defensive potential of this basketball team, the rebounding potential, it was always there. You just needed something to give the controller to a better player, so to speak, and that's exactly what we've done. JJ Redick is a heaven sent. He's been the best coach this season, in my opinion, of any team, and early front runner for coach of the year, man. I know it's a lot of game left to play. Still got 79 games left to play, but the imprint that this team is implementing early on, the way that they're playing right now, out the gate, I don't remember any Laker team playing this well out the gate. Any Laker team, period. And so I'm thrilled. I think it's time to start looking for ways to improve this bench. If you're Rob Pelinka, now it's on him to say, okay, we got something that potentially could win the whole thing, but we can't be shallow of a team and expect our guys to make it through the season. That's really what it comes down to. We can't be a shallow basketball team. The potential is too high for us to do something real. And so I'm thrilled, man. I just can't stress it enough. Sacramento dropped 127 points, whatever the score was, on us, and we still won. Last year, that's not happening. That's not happening. Malik Monk was hitting shots. You know, we did have some things that we didn't love at times. Our turnovers, obviously, at the top of the list. Leaving Malik Monk open in a couple of shots. We did ultimately give back some of those leads. 2 15-point leads were given back. So we do have some things to work on within this game. We saw some things. You know, some turnovers down the stretch. The fouling where, maybe it wasn't necessary to do so. Some shot selection, like I said, at the end of the third quarter, ultimately allowed for De'Aaron Fox to counter us really well and hit 2 threes down the stretch of that quarter. It separated us a little bit. Very frustrating stuff. It wasn't a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination. We can improve from here. But that just speaks to how impressive the win was, to be honest. That we didn't play amazing, but we still attacked properly. And the game plan was great. And, this was a thing where I say Mike Brown did a great job tonight coaching the Sacramento Kings. And we still were able to win the coaching battle. That's the truth. Mike Brown did not leave too much out there as it pertains to coaching. He did a great job. JJ was just that much better. So I don't know what to tell people, man. I don't know what to tell people. But if we stay on this path, JJ's going to be one of them coaches that you have to say, yo, he's one of the best coaches in basketball. And right now, Anthony Davis is your leading MVP. Even though he wasn't the player of the game tonight, he still had 31 points. He's averaging over 33 points a game. You know what I mean? And obviously getting his blocks, his steals, rebounds. He is your MVP through 3 games of the season. So I don't know what to tell people, man. The Western Conference, the Lakers at the top of that. And, we got the Phoenix Suns again on Monday. And we will face them out somewhere between 7 and 7:30. I don't remember which, but, be ready for them. And it's going to be on the road. It's a 5-game road trip, 6-game road trip. Has us seeing the likes of Detroit, and Cleveland, and Memphis. Yeah, we got a real road trip ahead. Toronto. Some of those games we expected to win, but you never know. When you go on the Eastern Conference road trip, anything can happen. It can get weird. Sometimes you lose a game, like the very game you expect to win the most be the one you lose. It's just, it can get weird. But the way that we're focused on every possession, the way that we're attacking teams, taking teams' best shots, it's going to take a hellacious performance to defeat us by anybody that sees us going forward if we just keep up what we're doing. So, yeah, great bounce-back game for D'Lo, man. I think that needs to be said. Rui Hachimura continued to play fantastic. Austin Reeves contributing big. I thought we had a rough game from Max Christie, as we talked about at halftime. That was a little rough. And Gabe Vincent did not play great ball tonight. I have to say, not as great as he didn't shoot well. He did help us seal the game at the end, though. Getting a weird steal. I don't know what Sacramento was running on the final play. I honestly don't. But we managed to steal the ball from them. And I was really pleased with that, to say the least. But, Gabe Vincent, overall, I don't think he was all that great. So, if you want to point out some things that we weren't in love with. But all in all, everybody else, for the most part, played really well, man. I like what I'm seeing from Jackson Hayes in limited minutes. Dalton Connect, his defensive length is really disruptive, man. He had 2 stops there on situations where most of the time you would think a guy would get scored on. His length is extremely disruptive defensively. And that is an underrated thing about Dalton Connect. Not something that we had on the scouting report when we drafted him, in my opinion. He was supposed to be a turnstile, a non-defensive player, but his length makes him very, very active defensively. And I like what I see from him. He had some threes tonight. Had a fast break point where he had a nice little teardrop floater in traffic. I thought was really nice. I like that we're increasing his minutes slowly but surely. We gave him 20 minutes tonight. I think the last game he had like 13. So he's getting, we're giving him an increase in minutes. But I think eventually you're going to see Laker Nation call for J.J. Redick to take the cuffs off of Dalton. Because Dalton's one of our most reliable scorers. And we're not quite giving him that early. And I think it might be safe when you treat rookies this way. But we need not forget that this is a 23-year-old rookie. He ain't 20. You know what I mean? It's a guy who should be ready to go. So, I mean, for all of the opportunities that we want to give some of our regular role players, I think JJ's going to learn to trust Dalton just like he trusts some of those guys, because he really is as good as them and probably as ready as them, to be honest. So, I'm not saying take the cuffs off of him just yet. I think working him in slowly is probably the smarter way to go, because it is an 82-game schedule and he is a rookie. So we're going to want him to be available, and he's going to hit a rookie wall if we give him too much too soon. That's really the only reason why you don't, because the conditioning has to catch up. And you just don't want him to hit that rookie wall when you really need him. So he's a real weapon. I'm ecstatic about having him on this team. I think one of the reasons why we're such a good team is because when you go to your bench, you got that weapon. That weapon right there is also a major cog in the uptick of our play level. Because you didn't have that weapon last year. It wasn't there. And some of the threes he hit, that corner three that he hit with a hand in his face, falling away, cutting the game to 3. I think it was in the 4th quarter. Like, you don't have that weapon last year. That's not there. You know, when the best shooters in basketball, we just so happen to draft them. And I tell you, man, Connect 4 is the truth. And it won't be long before we start recognizing him as one of our top players. It won't be long. So this is exciting, man. I told people the Lakers could potentially improve. I told them. I was like, sometimes you don't need to make too many moves, because that continuity that takes away the newness of what, new players provide and having to learn one another, that sometimes eats away at your productivity when you got to keep working new pieces into your equation. If you don't got that problem, but you're bringing in a new coach that's going to run so much better plays than the last coach, and that refreshing feeling that comes about the whole team when they finally got a bad omen out of the situation and bringing in something heavenly, man, that's going to make you better. And we're seeing the results of that. It is making us better. Salute to Kobe minute that passed about a minute and a half ago. So for me, man, look, Bron gets the game ball, but JJ is getting all the props, man. I'm telling you, I'm seriously wondering how great of a coach he could potentially become. Because what we're seeing out of him is just, he's a technical nightmare to go up against. For good coaches, he is a problem for you. And that's what he's taught me through 3 games. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. Kudos to the Los Angeles Lakers for going 3-0. Your fan base is happy. Media 44, I thank y'all for watching.